ever am going to see her again. Because you couldn't be bothered, or God knows what did you do to Shirley, that I'm never going to see my own daughter again, and she has to live the rest of her life in a hospital.
What did I do? What did I do? Why is it you blame me? Why is it you blame me?
You took her there. You took her there.
You want her to jump out the window.
She wouldn't jump out the window. What did you do to her?
You want to go get her and bring her home? You want her home?
Yes, I want you.
Okay, bring her home.
Okay, get her.
No, you go get her. She can't live here. She can't. She doesn't work right.
What happened that all of a sudden she doesn't work right?
Maybe you had some.
Maybe you're a sex maniac.
You're crazy. You're crazy. She's my daughter. I love my daughter. Debbie, I loved Debbie until Debbie turned on me like a crazy woman.
Oh,
like,
she turned on you?
You turn them all against me. You do. Only Mutala is the only one that knows me. Yeah, because he knows me. He knows who I am.
Mutala is mine too.
Well,
and Mutala acts like an animal. Mutala is...
Take them!
Mutala.
Take them! Go! Take the girls, go! Go get Shirley from the hospital. Take them all, go! Leave us here.
I'm not going anywhere.
Then
I should go.
I'll leave.
I'll leave. On the street.
I will leave.
The women should
You should be on the street because without me, you'd have nothing.
Without you.
Without me, you'd have nothing.
Without you, I'd have everything.
Who puts the food on? Wait, what did you pay for this? Who puts this food on the table?
5 cents a pound. We don't deserve it. 5 cents a pound.
Where did you get the 5 cents?
Debbie took it from Mutala because you give Mutala all the money.
This Mutala gives me pleasure.
What kind of pleasure does Mutala give you now?
I'm proud of my son.
You sick son of a bitch.
You're crazy.
You are
crazy. You.
Chaza.
Fuck you. Fuck you, you little dried up cunt.
Get up.
Fuck you. No, I take that back.
Such language.
Nobody would fuck you. Nobody would fuck you.
I have to endure this.
No, go! Take them and go! Go! Here we go. I pray for you to be dead, so then I can say the Kaddish. Wish you die, wish you die, wish you die. The hand I'm dealt. They say play the hand you're dealt.
What am I going to do?
I'm trying to play the hand I'm dealt. You're the hand I'm dealt?
My life is wrong.
You're the ace of spades, the card of death.
Animal for a husband who won't support me. He touches the kids. He sends one daughter away. And the Mutala, he's my son, my only son.
He hates you.
Because you taught him to hate me.
Like you taught the girls to hate me.
You taught him because you're a little fagula. Deep down inside, you're a little wormy fagula. And the only person you can relate to is another one with a schmuckula. I knew this was going to happen.
Who knows?
What was wrong with me in the Lower East Side?
You were working like a slave for somebody. I took you out of that.
Delancey Street, I missed
You were a slave. You worked for somebody like a servant. I took you away from that.
And I'm not a servant to you? The worst of the worst kind? My life is over. I give up. What did I do? Marry such a little nothing.
I was something. I had something. No, I had a good job. You don't remember. I worked hard. I had a good job. I got sick. It was my fault.
You come back.
I got sick in the lung.
You smell like alcohol. You spend the
before
money before you put bread on the table. And you question me to have a little bit of fruit. You question my right to have a little bit of fruit. I never said that. I said, where did it come from? Where did it come from? It came from me, from my working in the street, from pushing a cart, from picking a rag, from doing whatever I have to do to put something on the table. What table? You put this on the table? Where? What did you put on the
You
table?
go out in the street and work. You go out and see what it's like.
I don't work. I don't work.
This is your work. Your work is to yell at me and to cry and scream and
All
carry
I do
on
is
and
take care of the
tear
house,
me
do
down.
the
And so
sewing.
what am I going to do? I'm going to get drunk because it's the only pleasure I get. That and my son.
And all that costs money. And you give them the money before you give it to us, to the women. Oh, you're such a good Jew.
This is our fate. This is our fate.
Don't talk
be
to
like
me
this.
about our. There's
This is
nothing our. It's all your.
This is our fate.
And then
This is what we.
and
This
you
is
do
this
it
is the
to
rest.
me,
Of, this is
you
the.
do it to
This
me.
is the nightmare of our life. This is it. This is what we have to look forward to until we stop breathing.
No.
There's nothing. There's nothing but this is all there is.
It's all
Nothing.
there.
This is all there is.
And when you stub me, all you do is, oh. And then the next day, more washing, more laundry.
Never again.
Never once did
No
you
worries.
bring a flower
Nothing.
to me, a flower, a card, a kiss on the cheek, a piece of meat that's already cooked that I don't have to cook just for you. It's just the worst thing I ever saw. It's the worst thing I ever saw. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I feel like I'm on the road and a steamroller comes and rolls right over me.
We can only hope
That's
that God takes you 1 minute before He takes me, so I can have a moment's peace.
Get out. I want you out.
Matala, put your clothes on. We're leaving.
Why doesn't Matala have any clothes on?
Maybe because you were touching him and you were touching him.
I'm touching.
Were you touching Matala?
Yeah. I'm touching Matala.
Yeah.
Matala! Mat! So, you're out. There's no money. You question me about some fruit. Where's this going?
I don't question you about the fruit. I say I provide the best I can.
You didn't provide this.
I do the best I can.
Debbie provided
I gave the
this.
money for Debbie to provide.
You
this.
did not.
What is Debbie?
Debbie took the money
Does
from
Debbie work?
Debbie?
Does Debbie work?
Shut up! Debbie took the money from Matala because you give Matala all the money.
Because Matala,
Matala.
my only joy in life.
Please, Mommy and Daddy, I want to sleep. Stop screaming.
Matala, be quiet!
It's okay.
What do you say to Matala about me that makes him behave the way he does?
Why did you turn the girls against me?
What? You and Debbie? Debbie hates the way you treat me. I hate the way you treat me.
Because you hate me. The girls hate me.
You come home drunk. You send Shirley, my firstborn, away because you would rather call her crazy than put another dollar for her food. My firstborn.
You want her back here.
Yes.
Go and get her. Go get her.
Family back.
You want your family
I
back.
want
I'm your
my
family.
family.
I'm your family.
Yes.
You
and
want
when
to know? You want to know why?
I can't even talk.
You don't want to know why I can't be good to you? This is why.
Oh, this is why. Because I have feelings? Because I don't just
Because
take
you
it?
never stop. You never stop. Leave. Go. There's a better place for you. There's a better.
This is you. Look. That's sex. And that's mess. That's our bed. That's our bed, and I have to clean it.
Look
I'm
at
listening.
me. Look at me.
I'm listening.
Look at me. This is what we have, each other. It's all we have. There's nothing else. There's just the family, just us.
Then why do you give all the money to Matala?
I don't give all the money to Matala.
Debbie had to take money
This
from
time,
Matala's.
just today, she did. Not all the time. I give the girls money. I put food on the
You
table.
don't
I
give
work
me
as
money.
best. I give you what I can give you.
And where does the rest of it go?
There's very little of the rest of it. I have a little for myself. I have a little pleasure for myself.
And what's the pleasure?
I drink.
And you know how much that costs?
Yes. Not very much.
Not very much.
Not very much. The shit that I drink is gonna kill me soon. You'll see. You don't understand at all. You don't understand.
I don't
You
understand
don't know.
that
You don't
you sent
un-
my firstborn child away to an institution and I can never see her again. I brought Matala.
Why don't you go visit her in the institution?
Give up, give up.
I don't know. I don't know.
Why can't you see your child? You can go see her, visit her.
The thought of her just locked up for the rest of her life just because you're too cheap to support her.
This is what you think. This is
And
what you
then you
believe.
go
This is what you
home.
believe, that I sent my daughter,
You come
that I love, away because I didn't want to support her.
You come home and you get into bed smelling like, ugh. And 1, 2, 3. Do you have money?
A little.
Can I have some money?
Yes.
Can I have it?
Yes.
You say that, but it never happened.
$2.
$2?
I worked all day. I worked all day. I worked all day. $2.
You got more than $2. Harry, where did you get that money?
What I saved. We have rent next week. Do it. Can you thank me? Can you say thank you, Harry?
Thank you. You know where this money's going?
For food.
Shirley in the institution. I can't take it anymore seeing my firstborn in an institution. She's gotta be locked up
She
because...
was sick. She's a sick girl. She cannot be here. It's not safe for her.
And Debbie? Debbie hates you.
Yeah, because-
hates you. Hates the way you treat me. And look how you treat me.
Because all you know is crying. All
And
you know how to do is all you know
is
is
to get
crying.
whatever
All
you
you know.
want.
Well, I get whatever I want. This is what I want. Look at this wife. This is the wife I want. Please,
Hi, baby.
please. The only thing I did is,
Amen.
this is what you do. You whine and you badger and you whine and you badger and you whine and you badger and you wear me down and wear me down. I was sick and you made me sicker. I could blame you for everything. You blame me for everything, so why shouldn't I blame you? But I don't. I don't blame you. It's all my fault. You're right. It's all my fault. We should both rot in hell with the life we have. We are already rotting in hell. This is here. I can't.
I can't.
We'll have to die for peace. There's no peace. There's no peace here. There's no quiet. There's no love. There's nothing. We have nothing.
What am I gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Oh, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What am I gonna do? She says over and over, over and over. Oh, you're like a radio with one song. You're like a radio with one song. That's all you know is what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Harry, it's all your fault. Please. Gave you everything I have. Not much. Everything I have to this family, to try to make this family. Never. I could be a millionaire. It would still not be enough for you. Never enough. It's never enough because you're still the little girl on the boat alone by yourself, and you'll always be the little girl on the boat alone. And there's no comfort that anybody can ever give you. No love that you can take. Please. It's all my fault. Yes, it's my fault because because I went and I took you from that home and I married you and I gave you 4 children. My fault. That I got sick and I couldn't work anymore. You forget the days where I worked.
You gave me 4 and you took away 2.
I took away 2. You reject.
My life is over.
Oh yeah, that's true. Our lives are over. Our lives are over. But it's not too late for their lives.
Martula's gonna be just like you.
Martula's gonna be a good man.
Martula, you turned Debbie against me. You turned Martula against me.
Oh yes, it's all my fault. It's all my fault. You're right. It's all my fault. I'll take the blame. I'll take the blame for it. Sure. Makes you feel better. Yes. Makes you feel better.
I'm grepsing.
You're always grepsing. You're always grepsing. Maybe if you would sing. You're a radio with one song. All you know is you. All you know is you. All you know is your pain. All you know is your suffering. You need to die to get some peace. Soon enough. Soon enough. In the meantime, I have my boy. In the meantime, I have my boy. You can't take that from me.
This is a very unusual thing for a therapist to do, but the background to this is that Edith and Warren were in the same group together, and when Warren jumped ship and left group because of a psychotic break, Edith also decided to leave, and I hadn't seen her for now 3 or 4 weeks, which is very atypical of her in terms of therapy. So I decided, against my own supervisors as a therapist, to go ahead and do a home visit to try to see what the hell the story was with her. I'm now in her building in Chelsea, in New York City. The super had to let me in because she doesn't answer the bell. I'm entering her apartment to try to find out what happened to her because I began to be worried. It was very unusual for her in a number of years of therapy never to contact me when she missed sessions. Hello Edith, your super let me in. Just want you to be aware why I'm here because I haven't heard from you for 4 weeks now.
So can't you take a hint?
Maybe you can tell me a little bit about what's been going on, why you haven't shown up in therapy?
I don't want to go to therapy.
Perhaps you could explain why. You were doing very well up to this point.
Do you want to see why I'm really going to go out of the house like this?
What's the problem with what you're pointing to? I see a Band-Aid on your face.
I have a zit.
And what's the problem with the cyst?
I have an image to maintain. I'm not going to go out like this.
You telling me that every time you get a pimple on your face, you're going to withdraw from the world and isolate yourself from reality? What about your job? What about your relations? What about your family?
What about them? What do they have to do with it? I have a right to...
You have a marriage with Lester. You have relations. You earn a living. You also have therapy sessions. You have a group that you're attending.
Look, I can't go out like this.
You can spend the rest of your life until... What if the pimple never heals?
The pimple's gonna heal. It'll heal.
We've been working for a number of years on your vanity issues and withdrawing from the world because of a slight imperfection that is going on.
Well, honey,
seems like that there's a regression back to the service of the ego, that you're getting all caught up in the vanity again.
honey, it's not just the pimple. Look at my face. Look at my face, Dr. Obler. Look at it.
I see nothing wrong with your face. I see a slight pimple that you're covering up with a Band-Aid.
Look at the pimples. Look.
Well, so what you're talking about is the aging.
Look at my leg.
So you're no longer.
My leg.
Well, do you want to get into those issues and return to therapy, which we were working on, which includes the accident in California, which your leg got a little deformed because of the
We have
accident?
to talk about that.
Are we going to get back into the vanity issue, and which is really based on the fact that you feel you've lost the beauty of your youth, and you're getting to be a slightly middle-aged woman, and that's bugging the hell out of you because you're worried about it? And your self-destructive behavior in your marriage, which you constantly get involved in?
What self-destructive behavior?
Why
in marriage?
are you thinking of divorce and wanting to get out of a relationship with Lester?
Because Lester doesn't pay any attention to me. Lester has no money. Lester doesn't do anything. I have to do everything. I have no maid. Look at the place. I look at everything.
I think
What is Lester doing to better my life?
I think what you're telling me is Lester doesn't make as much money as you, and you're tired of paying out more money, and his purpose is to support you and take care of you. Again, in your princess mentality. He cares about you and wants to be in a marriage. You're the one that wants out because he's not giving what you want. And it's the same problem you had in group therapy when Warren came in. He demanded all the attention, and you weren't getting all the attention that you desired.
I am paying the same amount of money as Warren is paying for the sessions, and Warren takes over the sessions. It's all about Warren. It's nothing to do with me. I have to take back burner. Fine. Why don't you have Warren pay for my sessions and I'll come?
Why don't we do this? Why don't we have more attention and set aside time and allot it that you have the majority time and Warren has the minority time, and you both pay the same. That way you get a better bargain. In other words, it's all
because no matter what you say, it's Warren, Warren, Warren.
No matter what you say, it's Edith, Edith, Edith. And that's what's bugging
That is
you.
not true.
Well, what do you think the pimple's about going outside? Edith has a little pimple and people are going to look at her.
What's wrong with people looking at me? People have always looked
What's
at me.
wrong is your withdrawal from the world when you don't feel you're perfect and beautiful and you're an ideal movie star and that they're not going to worship. And you withdraw from the world and become abandoned and rejected because of your imperfections. And you're doing the same thing now with Warren. Warren demanded more attention, so I'm leaving group. I don't need therapy anymore. I don't need anybody.
That's right. I don't need anybody. Why do you think I need you? If I don't feel like going out of the house because I don't like the way I look, then that's the way it is. That's just the way it is.
Edith, wake up. People don't go out of the house. They're like in SRO hotels. They're either bipolar schizophrenic, they're isolated, and they wind up in hospital.
I live in a very nice doorman building.
You haven't been to work for 4 weeks. You're going to lose your job. You're now in the process of divorcing your husband. You're not going to have
That's
that,
right.
okay? You're breaking
What
that
did
down.
you just say about Daddy?
You're in the process of losing your marriage and your husband.
What about Daddy, though? What does that have to do with Daddy?
Oh, that's the same fear you had that Daddy's going to abandon you because you weren't going to be the little princess. And he left the family and abandoned you in childhood because you weren't good enough, which is really part of your syndrome. And that's what I've been
I
trying
don't
for
think
years.
you have the right to bring that up right now.
I don't have the right?
I don't think
Who does have the right?
you're equating my father, so I married my father, so Lester's my father.
Every man you went out with in one way or another, you looked upon as a father figure who's going to take care of you and not the way you wished your father to take care of you. That's the reality.
My father never even held me.
That's the reason you're so bugged up now, that you're not
The
getting over
one
it.
time I sat on his lap when we were going to Miami, my mother was driving, and he bought me a Mickey Mouse watch.
Yeah.
And I threw up. I threw up on the watch and on his lap. And he says, "Get this kid off my lap! Get this kid out of here!" So we had to stop the car, and I was throwing up. I had a virus. I didn't know I had a virus. You think that's a normal reaction when your daughter is sick?
No, but it's
To
not.
totally reject her? I had
Absolutely.
these reoccurring dreams. I used to dream that we were in Virginia, and I was walking over this beautiful bridge, and then I would jump off the bridge and dive down, and I woke myself up out of the dream because I never stopped drowning. And I'd run into sleep between my mother and my father, And he would say again, would you get this kid out of here? I need to sleep. Get this kid out of my bed. I need to sleep.
It's pretty tragic. And you spent the rest of your life looking for a Mickey Mouse watch again. I'll accept a little more expensive watches in every relationship so you can get the daddy who abandoned you, who didn't want you. And you were never good enough, especially with a pimple.
I can't get rid of this pimple. I don't know what to do. I can't go out like this. Dr. Obler, I can't go out like this.
I suggest you clean up your room, put on some nice clothes, put some makeup on, put some makeup on to cover the pimple if you're that concerned about it. Go back into the world. Let's come back to group, resume our sessions, and start working on changing your life again. I also think you should hold off for a while from divorce before you're sure you want to get out of this relationship. Seems like Lester really does care about you. And you have to stop competing with the whole world for attention. And the fact that you're a middle-aged woman doesn't mean you're not attractive. It doesn't mean you can't go back and have people.
You think I'm attractive?
I think you've always been attractive.
No, really. Do you think I'm attractive?
Yeah, but let's not get seductive.
No, really.
Yeah, okay.
Do you think I'm attractive?
Yes, you are.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
No, just say that. Don't placate me.
I'm not placating, but I'm not going to buy you a watch. Certainly not a Mickey Mouse watch.
They're only $12. You can get them at a lot less.
Well, if you can get a bargain basement thing, maybe $8. I'll shell out.
Oh, so I'm not worth. I'm not worth.
It's time.
The only reason you came here is because you missed my money for your sessions.
Well, I think you know that's not true. I wouldn't be coming to your house and bothering to get you out of this rut before you break if I really only cared about the money. It's taking a lot of time that I'm not getting paid for.
No, but you really think I'm attractive?
The question is,
seriously, don't just tell me the truth.
Can I ask you a question?
Just please tell me the truth.
Do you think you're attractive?
I don't know what I think.
Well, that's
it's
the problem.
what depends on what you think.
That's the problem.
I mean, if I walk down the street, are you going to look at me? You're going to give me, hey, sexy?
I doubt
Are you
it.
going to see what I mean?
I
used to get that all the time. I could walk into any club and I didn't have to pay. Mickey Rourke sent a bottle of champagne over to my table. They want to give me Coke. They want to give me this. They want to give me everything. And I would walk out of the club like, fuck you.
Well, that's certainly better than they're vomiting on you, like your father did.
I vomited on him.
I know, but
I had car sickness.
My point is they vomited on you. He vomited on you by rejecting you. And you're afraid if you're not that beautiful little girl, the same thing's going to happen. They're going to vomit on you, and you're going to vomit on them, and the relationship is going to break down. Stop.
But you said I am.
Stop being the narcissistic little girl. Get dressed, clean up your act, come back to therapy.
I am beautiful,
I think it's time you stop being concerned.
No, but you said
about
I'm beautiful?
I think you're attractive.
No, but before you said I'm beautiful.
No, you just keep harping on that. What difference does it make whether I think you're beautiful or not? Why is that important?
It's important to me.
I know, it's important to you in every relationship. That's the problem. Because you're hiding behind that.
The whole
You don't
world.
think you have anything else to offer by that.
What? The whole world. Makeup stores, clothing stores. It's all about beauty. Why I can't participate in the average functioning of society.
Not if it's driving you crazy. You drop out of society and stop going to work. Drop out of group.
I can't go out with this pimple.
Like that. Put some makeup on. Cover it up until it goes away.
You can tell. You can see through it.
Why don't you clean up your act? Let's go and return to therapy. I expect you back on Wednesday night with Warren back in group.
I'm going to be sick.
You're not going to throw up now, are you?
I feel like throwing up.
I guess it brings you back to the childhood thing, doesn't it?
My heart is racing.
Yeah. Calm down. Let's get dressed. Let's clean up your act. One of the first patients I'll be talking about now who brought out of me powerfully the craziness of my own family because of the problems he had was Warren, who you're going to see in a few moments. Warren was referred to me after 23 years of being in and out of mental hospitals by his most recent psychiatrist who saw him for 9 years, who is a colleague of mine, a Columbia Presbyterian. Basically what he said to me is that they had not been successful in diminishing his mental breakdowns. They thought the kind of therapy I do, which is very upfront and confrontational, will be very beneficial to him. And I really had a rough time working with him. And frankly, what you're going to see is I took him on because he reminded me of people in my own family and what I had to go through in my childhood, which is going to come out later on. This is the first session. Warren had a history of, as I said, continuous mental breakdowns. But he continued to work in and out every time he came out of the mental hospital. He worked for a major state organization, was doing a pretty good job, but he was continuously getting into problems in the work situation as well. He has what we call ideation of reference, in which he calls it nonverbal, in which he has nonverbal interaction with all kinds of people, feeling that they're being turned off by him, they're negating him, or he's negating them. And then he projects onto them feelings about himself that he can't face in himself. This was the 5th consultation session he was coming into, and I had to make up my mind whether I was going to work with him or not. Come on in, Warren. You look a little tense. So you've been here before. You look like you're anxious.
This is the 5th time I'm here.
Any thoughts from the last meeting we had?
Well, are you going to take me on as client?
Well, that's why you're meeting with me. I got to make that
Well,
determination as a result.
fourth time, doctor.
You also have a right to say maybe you don't want to work with me.
I
We're going to find that out.
I keep coming back. I need a therapist.
Well, you kept for 23 years. You've been in that therapist's office.
That's right. But
and the mental hospital. So
I don't want to go. I don't want to go back to the hospital, doctor.
You're not going to go back to the hospital, Warren. That much I'm pretty sure we can do. We can take care of. But we got to find out some of the ways you think in order for me to determine if I'm the right guy to work with you. And if I can, I'll be responsible to make sure you get somebody that will be good for you.
Well, when are you going to make a decision about it?
Well, let's not focus on when I'm going to make the decision. Why don't you just talk about...
Maybe I don't want to work with you. Maybe I don't want to work with you.
Well, then you make that decision. You have that right. According to your previous therapist who referred you to me, you know, you always are questioning whether the therapist is going to work with you or not. Why don't we focus on some of the things that are happening in your life that brought you to therapy in the first place?
Okay.
It seemed, look, one thing that really struck me from last meeting, we were talking about what's going on in your office.
Yes.
Okay, and it seems like
You see, that's the. See, if that would stop, if they would stop, then
they stop what?
The people in the office, the girls.
The girls. It's mainly girls you keep talking about.
Well, that's also my neighbor.
Well,
my neighbor, the man upstairs with the toilets, he flushes the toilets.
Yeah.
And then I have to flush back because it's like it's a game. It's a game almost.
Well, the same thing, isn't it? That like in the office with the girls?
Well, no,
you keep thinking that they can't.
The girls look at me, doctor, and they.
They're not only looking.
They want me. They want me.
Are you sure? Isn't that the same thing you felt about those 2 girls across the street, the Super's daughters?
Yeah.
That's what you're reporting here 10 years ago, where you wound up in Kings County, that the 2 girls wanted you, and they were doing all kinds of things to get your attention, and you got really frightened.
Well, they were, yeah.
They were 16 years old.
Yeah.
You think they really wanted you?
Yeah.
What makes you so sure?
I thought at the time. I don't know.
Well, let me ask you a question, Warren. I wonder if your other therapists talk to you about this. Why can't we look at this as what we call projection? That you want them, and you're so afraid they're going to reject you that you then project onto them that they want you. You don't strike me as particularly that good looking that 2 16-year-old girls are going to want to get you.
I don't really understand what you're saying.
I know, that's one of the problems. Well, that's what therapy is really all about if you're not going to bullshit.
Do I have to go back to the hospital now?
Now? What makes you came in from your own apartment and
I work. I keep the job. I do my job. I work
you
hard.
do a very good job, but
every day.
You play.
I take a shower in the morning. I go every day to the job and I work.
I'm more concerned about you.
I have a good record at the work. I don't bother anybody. The girls bother me. They bother me, and they keep me from doing the work.
Warren, my mother had the same thing you had growing up. She had she used to look out the window and believe the neighbors were out together. It never happened. I think you're having delusions of people, girls especially, being attracted to you because girls aren't looking at you and you're not happy that you're not getting dates and you're not getting into a relationship.
I had a girlfriend.
You did? What happened?
I don't know.
Well, tell me what you remember.
I don't just don't remember.
Where was it?
It was a long time ago. It was at a camp.
Where was it? Oh, is that what the therapist wrote about here, the New Hampshire?
Yeah, she was a cook at a camp.
What happened then? Can you just tell me what happened?
She She said that I was strange. She rejected me.
Well, according to this, you left your house, went and got a taxi, went to her house, which seems to be in Manhattan on 64th Street. You rang her doorbell, and
I don't remember any of that.
well, I'm just telling you what the therapist notes were before you were institutionalized.
He made that up. I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I didn't do any of that.
You didn't take your clothes
No.
off because you couldn't pay the taxi driver, and the police came and arrested you, and they dragged you off.
They put me. I had a little altercation with a cab driver. I remember that, but that I don't remember anything
It's
about.
funny. Your memory seems good in some things. You go back 10 years. You go back.
I think
20 years.
Dr. Obler. I think I don't think you're being very helpful. I don't think you're helping me. At all. I don't think this is helpful to me at all. I think that you don't understand that these people are real.
Which people?
The neighbors.
Yeah, oh,
That,
sure, they're real.
just like with your mother.
Yeah.
She was not
So you
necessarily.
think my mother was picking up reality?
I think your mother probably was onto something. Yeah, they probably. What happened to your mother?
What?
What happened to your mother?
She grew old and died.
You see,
Oh, you think it was a result of the fact of what the neighbors
they
did?
were after her, weren't they?
You think they killed my mother?
Sooner or later.
So you really mean my mother was killed and the DA never found out about it?
Well, I don't know, but she died, didn't she? That's suspicious.
Okay, here's my conclusion, Warren. I will be willing to work with you, but I'm going to make 2 or 3 ground rules. I want to know what you feel about it. One is, I don't want to work with you alone, just you and me. I want to work with other people because I want to see what happens when other people and you in group, we call it group therapy, which you've never been in. I want to see how how they react to you.
I was in a group when they were at the hospital.
Oh,
At the hospital.
Okay.
At the hospital. I liked the group. I liked the group.
Yeah.
But the same problem.
What happened?
Girls.
What with the girls in the group?
They all want it.
So everybody wants you.
But the girls.
None of them are not interested in you. You're not the most good-looking guy
I
in the
don't know
world.
what it
Warren.
is, the doctor. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, here's my ground rules. I want you in a
I
group.
don't know.
You're gonna be in
I
a-
don't know. I don't know.
Okay, good. I don't think you do know. So my ground rule is I'm going to want you in a group, and I want you also to follow everything I say, no matter whether you agree with it or not. If I give you guidelines to live a certain way, you're going to have to do it whether you like it or not. Like I'm going to want you to go up and talk to these girls to find out from them how interested they really are. Well, and I know you're going to be able to.
I tried that. They don't admit it.
You have tried it? According to this, you've been so sure.
They won't ever admit it.
Oh, no?
No one ever, no.
Why won't they admit it? Give me a logical reason why if they're that attracted to you, why won't
I
they?
do my work, Dr. Obler. I go to work every day. Get up, I take a shower, I drink my coffee, and I go to work, and then it starts.
Well,
And I
are
do,
you willing to work with me and follow my ground rule?
you telling me I have to do everything you say?
Yes.
What did you say?
I said you're going to have to follow and do everything I tell you to say.
What are the rules?
The rules are you're going to have to come to group therapy. You're going to have to open up about yourself and your family. You're going to have to find out from these people whether it's real or not, whether you're deluding yourself about them, what you think about them, particularly the girls. This black neighbor of yours who's bringing girls home,
Yeah.
you're going to have a conversation
He
with
flushes
him.
the toilet.
Yeah, I know.
And then I have to flush the toilet.
Yes.
Just because to let him know
Well, that's
that I know that he's flushing the toilet, so I flush it
Well,
right.
could it be that you're really interested in the girls he's bringing?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You agree to ground?
But the girls that he brings, they don't want to be with him.
They want to be with you? Oh, I see. We got a lot of work to do, Warren. My 5th consultation with Warren in therapy session.
Dr. Obler.
Hi, glad to see you again, Warren. You look anxious, Warren.
Well, this is. I've been here. This is, I think, the fifth visit.
And the purpose is to try to find out.
But when are you going to make a decision, Doctor?
After today's session, when we complete the
Because
session.
I need to have a therapist. I need help.
Well, I know that, and that's why you.
I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to that place.
Yeah, but Warren, and we have to make a determination whether it's the right therapy for you, because you had 23 years of therapy in and out of the hospitals, different therapists, and the last one you're working with, my colleague at Columbia Presbyterian.
He wasn't any good.
Well, he worked with you for 9 years.
He wasn't any good. It was a waste of the time.
Okay, then obviously we got to try some new things in therapy.
Because he didn't understand, and I don't think it was worthwhile.
Well, it certainly wasn't working well if you were breaking down, cracking up, and had to go back into a mental hospital periodically in order to recuperate. So the point we want to find out is, what do you need? What kind of therapy? What kind of medication?
Listen, I go to work every day. I do the work. I'm good at the job. I get up. I make the coffee. I take a shower. I go to the office. I'm good at my job. I do the work. They tell me to make the papers, and I fill out the forms the correct way, and I get paid, and I don't bother anybody.
That doesn't seem to be the problem that we have to focus on. According to your therapist's notes, I think we should take a look at it. You have all kinds of problems with people at the office, particularly the women you're dealing with. You're constantly claiming that they can't keep their eyes off of you.
Well, they are always staring. They stare and they stare, and they want. You could see that they want. They want me.
That's the same thing you were saying when you had one of your early breakdowns.
Well, this has been. Why do you think I have the breakdowns?
Was that similar to what?
Why do you think I have the breakdown? I have the breakdowns because the pressure. The pressure.
Yeah, but those two 16-year-old neighbors 15 years ago were also attracted to you when you had one of your first breakdowns on Carroll Street in Brooklyn?
I never touched either of those girls.
No one claimed you touched them.
They wanted me. They wanted me. They came for me.
You think two 16-year-old girls at that time, you were well into your 20s at that point?
Yes.
They wanted you like the girls in the office? It looks like all over the place.
It's different. It's different. It's similar. It's different.
How is it different?
Well, because now I'm a little older now, and the girls in the office, they want me for different reasons, but they still.
What kind of reasons are you suggesting?
Well, they admire me.
You suggesting sexual reasons?
Oh, well, yes, sure.
Well, that's a lot like you were claiming about that girl would visit the black neighbor upstairs.
Well, that's a different thing, because he'd flush the toilet. I'd have to flush the toilet also.
You and him started, according to you, were flushing the toilet.
Because the girls didn't want to be with him. They wanted me, and then he was flush, and he'd flush, and I'd flush, and he'd flush, and it became a thing, and it's like
Sounds like synchronicity. You were flushing as a way of communicating with each other. So you think those girls too wanted you rather than him?
Yeah, of course.
But he was a good-looking black dude that was coming upstairs.
But they were the only reason they were going with him was because they were trying to get to me. Don't you understand that? I mean, it's clear. It's clear for anybody anybody would see that, and I don't understand why I'm threatened to go back to some hospital because I can see the things that you can't see. I can see it. I can see it. So how are you going to help me? You're not going to help me. You're not going to be any different than.
Well, you're reminding me of my mother, who used to look out the window for years and would claim over and over again that the neighbors were out together. Don't talk to neighbors.
How do you know? How do you know that she wasn't? How do you know?
How do I know what?
Maybe
that she was talking around?
Yeah, sure.
The neighbors didn't even recognize she was living there. They didn't care about her.
Yeah, what happened to her?
What?
What happened?
She died. But she died of natural causes and all that.
Oh yeah? How do you know?
Oh, so you're suggesting the neighbors killed her?
I don't know. How do I know they didn't? How do I know they didn't? How do you know?
Warren.
How do you know?
Warren.
Listen. I live a good life. I have a good life, and
Doesn't look too good to me. Looks to me like you're in and out of hospitals. You're worried all the time. Look how nervous you are and fidgety you are.
I just have a little.
If you're worried so much, how come you don't have any of these girls in actual relationships? If they're so dying to get involved with you.
Because I have to stay away. Because
why do you stay away? Sounds to me like you're scared shit of being involved with anybody.
Well, it's difficult.
Warren, I think I made up my mind. I'm willing to work with you. I have no doubt that it can be an effective therapy, but I have to set certain ground rules. Right?
Do I have to keep taking these pills?
For the time being, until we can do an evaluation to determine how effective they are, yes. When you go off your medication, you flip into a psychosis. You're bipolar.
I don't want to go back to the Can you help me, Doctor?
You don't want to go back to the what, Warren?
To that place.
Okay, good.
You know,
I can help you, but there's got to be certain ground rules that you got to meet in order for me to help you, and I'll work with you. The first one is I want you to work not only with me, but with other people in group therapy, because
I've been in a group.
Where's that?
In the last hospital, it was in a group. The same problem. Same problem.
What happened?
The women.
What happened?
They all wanted me.
Oh, so how did that interfere with you getting?
Because I couldn't get better because they were all staring all the time and looking at me and making overtures, and
It sounds like my mother looking out the window in Brooklyn and believing the neighbors were out together.
Well,
and they were all
sometimes
looking at.
I'll tell you something.
I can tell you
Neighbors are not all they're cracked up to be. Okay, I have neighbors. I know what they could do.
Well,
I know.
We're gonna have to-
There's the man with the dog that across the street. I know.
according to this is the start of back of 20, 30
He
years
looks
ago.
at me. He looks at me, and he looks away all the time, and then he doesn't say hello ever. You know why?
Does that bother you?
Well, I think he's jealous.
Of all the women wanting to do it?
Probably, yeah.
Seems to me he's a much better looking guy than you.
Oh, you know him?
I know.
You know him? So how do
I
you
got
know
the
him? How do you
reports
know?
from the other therapists who looked into
How do
this
you
with
know
me.
him? How do you?
Okay, Warren, let's get down to the bottom line. I can help you, but there's certain ground rules you're going to have to meet in order for me to help you. And the ground rules, one of the ones you're going to have to work in group therapy in addition to working with
Who else is going to be in the group?
You'll meet them.
Well, who are they? They're women?
Women, men, guys your age, some guys older than you, some women older than you, some women younger.
I'm just not going to any hospital, and I don't want
Good.
this. I don't want this
Then you're
medication.
gonna have
I don't
to
want this
agree.
medication. You have to take me off this medication.
Well, that's the second ground rule, that I'm gonna be in control of making the decision of what you stay on and don't stay on, and what you do and you don't do. You have to relinquish to me as the therapist all decisions in your life, including what medication you're on and sticking to the medication.
All decisions?
Yes,
I don't know.
well, it's your decision to make if you want to work with me. Think it over.
Thank you, Dr. Obler.
Thank you.